Hi, welcome to the What's Cooking Show. I'm your host today, Joey Quibido with Cash Saver and Piggly Wiggly here in Opelousas.
And I'm Chef Jason Huguet from Steamboat Warehouse in Washington, Louisiana. Joey, we have a very special show today.
Yes, we do.
We're going to be preparing one of the oldest menu items on the Steamboat menu in the history of Steamboat.
One of my favorites.
Yes, it's a house favorite. So it's going to be the Steamboat Gangplank, which, if you don't know what it is, we take some bread and we put a ribeye on top, and then we smother it with crawfish etouffee. And
extra season on the ribeye.
Extra season on Joey's ribeye. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather a few ingredients. We'll go to the Steamboat and I'll show everyone at home how to make it.
Sounds good.
That?
Great.
All right,
let's go.
So Joey, we're here in the bread aisle, frozen bread aisle. You have so many to choose from.
Definitely.
So what we're going to do first is this is going to be the base of the dish.
Okay.
So you can come to your local cash saver and come on this aisle and pick whichever bread you want. You could actually, if you want to, use a French bread or any kind of bread you want. These are just very easy to do at home, something simple. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. You have, like I said, so many to choose from, but let's go ahead and use, Sister Schubert's is a good brand.
Yes, it is a very good brand.
Very popular, a lot of people like it. Very simple at home to prepare, so today, we're going to use that so that way the recipe you can use it and apply it at home for home use.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of my favorites too.
Mine too. So we'll take a bag of that. It's yeast rolls. Take them out of the oven. You butter them a little bit. We'll show you all that in a little while.
Got it.
And so let's grab that and get a few other ingredients, and then we'll get on our way.
Okay, Jason. One of the main ingredients of your dish is a ribeye steak or whatever. And here at Cash Saver, we got all kind of different ribeyes and stuff. We have the budget ribeyes, and we have the what we call number one, which is the top of the thing.
I agree.
And I think we're gonna go with a number one because anytime you're gonna sell something, the Steamboat has got to be number one.
I like that one with the little lip on. That's my favorite piece.
Yeah, that's perfect. Ribeye, I mean, it's got a little bit of marble and stuff, everything in it. So it should be actually really pretty good.
That's
so
probably the perfect
let's
cut.
take this one and let's cook this.
We've got a few more ingredients to get, and then we'll go to Steamboat. Let's grab a couple more things. All right, Joey, we're here at the butter section, or dairy section.
Dairy section, yes.
You have different types of spreads, margarine salads, butter salads,
cheese,
anything else you want, light,
anything.
low fat. We're not going to use margarine today. Margarine is not one of my favorite products to use. Multiple reasons.
And probably one of your favorite is butter.
Butter. So everyone knows that butter just makes everything better. I tend to use an unsalted butter. I usually get the butter salads, or you can get the sticks of butter. You're gonna get a pound of butter, and I like unsalted because I like to add as much salt as I want.
Yeah, without having to worry about salt content, right.
So you have all the little different brands or whatever. My favorite is the Land O'Lakes. So we're gonna grab 1 pound of sweet cream unsalted butter. That's gonna be the basis of a great recipe. So
yes, sir.
Let's grab one more important ingredient, which would be
crawfish.
All right.
Well, Jason, this is probably one of the most important parts of the thing you're doing today.
Probably the most important.
The most important, yes. It's fresh Louisiana crawfish that was bought here yesterday. And if you get the Cash Saver and you want some of this delicious stuff, you have to actually cash here.
Ask somebody.
Because it's not available just to grab and go, because we especially keep it on the side in an ice chest.
On ice to make sure it has longer shelf life.
Definitely, definitely. And we have a really good price on them right now. And I mean, you can't get any fresher than this.
No.
There's no way.
I actually used some of those last night for a private party that we did for a local business. And they loved it. So we're gonna use this once again today on the show. And we're gonna complete our dish with it.
I can't wait to eat because I'm hungry.
It's gonna be a good show. So,
sounds good. Let's go to the boat.
Let's go. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, we're here at the Steamboat with our own Jason. He's going to do us a wonderful recipe that's been with the Steamboat for how many years, Jason?
Well, I've been here for 22 years, and it's been here much longer than that.
Much longer than that.
I would say close to 25, 30 years.
Okay, it's called the Gangplank and
Steamboat Gangplank.
That's it. Well, let's get started, Jason.
Okay, first we have our little magnolite pot, and it's got a little heat on. And I'm putting some butter in here. This is probably about maybe 2 sticks. We're only cooking up
half a pound.
Yeah, well, yeah, about half a pound, something like that. So
now, when you do your crawfish, I mean, how many pounds of crawfish do you use at one time, Jason?
Oh Lord. Well, it depends on who I'm cooking for and how many people. But usually over here at the Steamboat, for like a busy night, I'll cook about maybe 10, 15 pounds.
Wow.
That's how much we sell this dish. I've actually asked some of our good customers over the years, what would you think if we took the Gangplank off? And only because you want to keep up with the times. You don't want to get stale. You don't want your menu to get boring. You want to keep up with the rest of the world, and just be ever changing and excited. Keep it exciting. And no, didn't go over well. So we just decided to keep.
I mean, it's an icon on your menu. I mean, everybody loves the Gangplank.
Yeah, it's just one of the mainstays. I guess it's probably the oldest dish on the menu today. Mm-hmm. Probably one of only 2 or 3 items on our menu that are from the old days, like the original menu.
Right.
So now that we got our butter hot, we got our flame pretty high, right?
Okay.
Is that,
yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna take. This is about 2 medium onions. Mm-hmm. The general rule of thumb that I was taught by the Tony Sashry himself, and also Mr. Cliff Vaillant, who is the one who actually started Swallows Dinner Club right down the road from us.
Right.
Cliff Vaillant, that's Mr. Frankie's wife, Miss Peanut, that's her dad.
Oh, okay.
So he taught me a lot of stuff before he died years ago. But their general rule of thumb was 1 medium onion per pound of crawfish that you're gonna use. So today we're cooking 2 pounds, and we have about 2 medium onions in here right now. I have about 1/2 of a bell pepper, green bell pepper, that is cut fresh. I was always taught that when you're using onions in a dish, fresh onions, you want to cut them right before you use them, not the night before, anything like that, because it loses some of its potency, like its strong flavor.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna put that, and then of course,
your favorite thing?
One of my favorite things in the world.
Garlic.
If you could like garlic infused jumbo lump crab meat, that'd probably be the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of tablespoons right here. You cannot put too much garlic for me.
Yeah.
Not me. I know a lot of people who don't like
garlic.
Too heavy garlic.
Yeah, Paul don't like garlic.
I love it, man.
Garlic.
I
love garlic.
I just love the flavor.
Yes, definitely.
So basically, as we were talking about earlier off camera, I kind of hesitated this morning to do this recipe because we've had some crawfish étouffées done on the show, and within the last 4 or 5 shows, we've had probably 2 or 3. But as long as I've been on the show, what is it, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that, I've never made crawfish étouffée. I've made shrimp étouffée, and I've made a lot of crawfish dishes, just not crawfish étouffée. Yes. And last night when I decided I wanted to make this recipe and show everyone at home how to make it, it just felt right to do it. So this is my version. And so today, well, if you look at the camera, if you can get right here, this is a product that we've been using for the past and actually the present. It's a nice product right down the road from us. But
Desdale's, yes.
Desdale's, very, very, very good product. But if you look right here on the right side, these are the ones I got from Cash Saver Pig the Wigger.
That's correct.
And we actually used these last night for a banquet I had, and I had some people tell me that this is probably the best crawfish étouffée that I've ever made. And in 22 years of being here, that's a huge compliment.
Oh, definitely, yes, definitely.
So today, we picked these up from Cash Saver this morning. That's what we're going to use today.
Okay, so that'll work.
So at home, people make crawfish étouffée, and in South Louisiana, there's so many different versions.
Variations.
Some people put tomato. I don't. Some people put roux. I don't. Some people put cream of mushroom soup. I don't. Not saying that any of those ways are not good or just, I just prefer to do it as basic as possible. That way the crawfish and the fat and the flavor of Louisiana crawfish, that it just bursts out. You know, and
exactly.
that's what you taste.
I think, Jason, to be honest with you, I think, and I have never seen you make crawfish etouffee before, never, okay? I think what's gonna come down to it is we're gonna do exactly the same way, me and you.
Really?
I think so. I definitely think so.
I didn't show you have to tell me.
Yes, I will tell you. Trust me, I'll tell you.
So what a lot of people do also, and I've tried this in the past, and some of the best etouffee I've ever made was made with in this one technique, which what you could do is we have our butter and onions and vegetables. You could add white flour, and if you add the white flour, you're basically making a white roux.
Correct.
Anytime you do fat and flour together, it's a roux. Butter, fat, flour.
Yeah,
roux.
Makes a roux.
You can make a white roux and then add your crawfish and then add your stock, which we're gonna use today. You could use water at home. And that would work as well. We're gonna do a different method today because I've done it both ways. And I just find that sometimes, and a lot of times, when you do the white roux, it doesn't have enough time for the raw flour taste to cook out. So what happens is it becomes a little raw flour taste. So we're gonna go ahead and probably do it a different way today.
Okay.
So let's take a quick break and we'll come back and then we'll go ahead and continue our dish.
Sounds great. So join us back for more What's Cooking in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, we have Jason cooking a wonderful, popular dish that's been in the Steamboat for over 30, 40 years. We don't know no more. And,
I don't even know this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's called the gangplank.
Steamboat gangplank.
And it's actually what it is. It's a ribeye that's on a bed of bread.
Yes.
And with fresh crawfish etouffee on top.
We're gonna talk about the bread in a minute.
Yes, sir.
First, let's add our crawfish. It's 2 pound of crawfish. Depending on how you actually are using the etouffee, like if you're actually just eating crawfish etouffee tonight, 4 pounds could feed. I mean, I'm sorry, 2 pounds can feed at least 8 people.
8 people, yeah.
8 to 10. I say 8 to 10. Depends what you use it for. But if using it in an application that we're using it for, like just to
top something,
put about 2-3 ounce ladle on top. I mean, you could probably triple it, or at least double that.
Yeah,
so simple. We just have butter, our vegetables. We have our crawfish we just added to it. What we're gonna do is be careful with the salt because we're gonna use a shellfish stock that we made with shrimp shells, stuff like that. May have a little saltiness to it as well. So we can be careful at first with the salt. Put a little bit.
You can always taste later and see if you need
Exactly,
more.
and that's why I have a bag full of tasting spoons, and we're gonna taste it. Put a little bit of cayenne pepper. I know Joey likes pepper, so we're gonna probably put a little more than I normally would.
Yeah, that's
I could put all this for Joey, but we're not, because I want to eat it too.
Yeah.
So, simple as it is, just like that. Let's let that go for just for a second. We'll come back to this for real
Jason,
quickly.
that'd be sweet heat. I mean, just.
Yeah. Right. So we have the bread that we got from Cash Saver, and this is just to show you at home that you can go to any store, preferably Piggly Wiggly or Cash Saver, and we could actually take whatever kind of bread we want in the store. If you have your own recipe for homemade bread, some yeast rolls, or whatever bread you like to make, you have a recipe at home, use that. This would be the best way to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we're just gonna cut these in half. And I'll show you why in just a little bit.
Okay, well while you're doing that, I want to remind everybody at home that every ingredient that's being used here today
yes, sir.
with Jason could be found at your cash saver or Piggly Wiggly here in Opelousas.
1305 Heather Drive or 814 Highway 182 North, or you can always call us.
Yeah, and what's the phone numbers?
Phone numbers at Cash Saver is 948-8199. And if you want to call us at the North Store, 948-9427.
Oh, you're getting good.
I've been good. So
Speaking about good, this is smelling good.
Crawfish is looking great. Let me put this back right here. So, like I said earlier, we have a shellfish stock that you could take if you have a crawfish ball and use them crawfish tails from your crawfish ball. Keep the peelings, boil the peelings, and the shells, whatever.
Yeah, it's so easy.
And, exactly. And you boil your shells, and just be careful of when you're adding, because if you're boiling crawfish shells, it's gonna have some seasoning in the broth.
That's correct.
So before you add seasoning, add your stock and then taste it afterwards. So we'll put a little bit at a time, make sure we got enough. Not too much, but just enough, because you want to make sure that you have a good crawfish tail to broth ratio.
Right. Exactly,
You don't want
you don't want
juice, gravy,
all juice and all crawfish.
Yes. So that looks about right here. Now we're gonna let this go for a little bit and forget about it.
Okay. And then we slice the bread. Now, what you can do with the bread, Jason?
The bread is going to be the bottom of the plate. We're going to put the bread down. We're going to season our ribeye, which we have right here. This is a sterling silver meat program that we use. It's very expensive meat, but it's good meat ain't cheap, and cheap meat ain't good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to season this up. We're going to throw it in our grill a little bit. We're going to put this on top of our bread. Then we're going to top it with our crawfish etouffee. And that's going to be the finished dish.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and heat up our grill so we can start our ribeye in a few minutes. And it's smelling really good here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we're going to finish our etouffee. I'm going to show you how to make what we call a slurry.
A slurry?
Yes.
Oh.
And then we're going to finish our crawfish and then put our meat on the grill.
Sounds great. So come back and join us for more What's Cooking in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Again, we are finishing up a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful recipe with Jason. That's, again, has been Steamboat for 40 plus years,
Forever.
I'm guessing. I mean, older than we probably are, huh?
Well, almost.
Well, I'm older than you. I'm a lot older than you. But anyway, where we at, Jason?
Okay, we're gonna take our beautiful steak. You can see the marbling in this steak. It's not a whole lot of fat, but it's marbling. So we're gonna take our own Steamboat season that we make over here ourselves. This one is not too heavy on the spice and not too heavy on the salt, so you can add it like as liberally as you want. Right, so whenever yours comes in, your ticket, I just add cayenne, straight cayenne.
Just pass it in the pepper.
So, okay, we got our grill really hot. Hope it ain't too hot, but we're gonna baste it with our little, there you go, that's what you wanna hear.
Yeah, not too hot.
Now, we're gonna come up over here to our etouffee, and I'm gonna take this slurry that we made.
Slurry, what is slurry?
Okay, I'll tell you what. Turn this down a little bit, I'll tell you. First, let me just do this real quick. I'll explain. You want to put a little bit at a time, because this stuff will thicken it very, very quickly. And you don't want this on high when you're doing it. You kind of want to put a little bit.
So basically, this is a cornstarch water.
Cornstarch and water. It's called a slurry. And what you need to do is you take a little cornstarch. I'm sure you have this at the pig.
Sure.
And buy this at the store, and you want to take a little bit, doesn't take much, take a little bit, and you add just enough water to get it all dissolved in the water. You don't want to add, you don't want to have this much, maybe about a cup or half a cup of cornstarch, and then adding like 5 cups of water.
Right.
So we add a little bit at a time, and we get it to the consistency that we want. Some people like it a little bit juicier, like wet, loose. Fewer different words you can use. Some people like it a lot thicker. I don't like it too thick, but at the same time, I don't like it too thin either.
Well, I guess it depends on how actually you're using, like you said
exactly.
before.
If you're gonna have it on rice You can use it a little or leave it a little bit thinner than normal.
Yeah.
But like last night, we had this same dish on the menu for our guests last night, and I made it a little bit thicker than I would normally make it, say if I was using it for like an étouffée, because I wanted it to stand and sit on top of the ribeye. So right now we have it about as thick as we want it to be. So let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's flip our steak.
Nice.
Now let's give it a quick little taste. Oh, evidently I turned the wrong one.
You turned the wrong one off? Oh, I got it. Yeah,
Oh, I
so now
turned
we
the wrong
got
way,
it.
that's why. All right, quick taste.
Needs more seasoning.
Yeah. The spice for
You
Joey.
know me, it's like, it can't be hot enough, huh?
The spice for Joey. A little salt for me.
Oh, that steak is smelling awesome.
Very simple, and to finish things off, fresh chopped flat leaf parsley. That flat leaf.
Jason, we're going to remind everybody where you can get a copy of this recipe. You can go to our website, kdcg.com, click on What's Cooking Show, and if you actually go onto the show itself, right below it is actually the recipe to it.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
you can
Very
get
simple.
all that right off the show, watch the show again, and get your recipe.
Do you think?
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful ribeye, Jason. Really nice.
Another thing I want to say about the étouffée is you really want to try to make it and let it sit. I like to make it and throw my parsley in and then turn off the heat, cover it, and just let it kind of sit for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. To me, the flavors for some reason just come out a whole lot more if it's allowed to sit than if you eat it right after it's
Right.
completed.
Well, that makes sense, I think, yeah.
All right.
The juices can come out, yeah.
Go ahead and show you how we plate our dish. Oops. All right, we got our ribeye, about medium rare. I don't like mine any more than that. Oops. So, all right. You just want to spoon this on top of here. Beautiful crawfish.
Oh, very nice. Beautiful plate.
Now we're gonna wipe this because we don't like to have any dirty plates. Boom, simple.
And that's why it's been this
Steamboat gang frame.
on the menu for so long. Beautiful thing. Well, thank you so much, Jason,
Yes,
for cooking
sir.
this wonderful thing, and thank you all for watching the What's Cooking Show and joining us back next week.